Boxing fans, how are we? Welcome to another edition of Chatterboxing, the show that kind of sounds like shadowboxing. I hope we're all well. I'm glad to see we've all woken up after the Times Square Fatal Fury card put us all to sleep yesterday. Obviously, that's what we're here to talk about. It was a kind of a boring card, that's an understatement. But before we get into it, let's talk about the venue, Times Square. Very cool, never been done before. Cool idea. When it was first announced, it made a lot of noise. I was a bit disappointed with the overall execution, though. To be honest, it left a little bit to be desired. I think the lack of audience, I think that played a part into why the fights were so boring. It's only 100 seats, invite only. It looked a bit weird in some camera angles, like they had a very small piece of Times Square. It just looked a bit weird. And apparently, I saw some videos like the locals were a bit unhappy. It disrupted life for them. A lot of them were like, "Why is it barricaded? Why are all there's these red screens all around it?" But that made sense to me because it's all about the pay-per-view buys. They're not selling tickets. So obviously, if there's no screens, then anyone will just film it and live stream it and whatnot, and then they'll make absolutely zero money. But anyways, starting off with the fights. First of all, Teofimo Lopez against Barbosa. And thank God we had Teofimo Lopez yesterday because that was as entertaining as it got. He put on a very good performance, I must say. He showed us the best of Teofimo Lopez. He's a very enigmatic character and a very enigmatic boxer. Sometimes you see him and he looks phenomenal. Like yesterday, he looked world class. You'd say he's the best at his division. At 140, he can do it all. Athleticism, timing, defense, barely got caught, rolls the shoulders very well. We all know he carries that power. We remember how he knocked out Richard Comey brutally a couple years ago, or that knockdown, that was brutal. So very, very good fighter. But then again, we see him at other times, and it's like, it's a very subdued performance. He looks disinterested, doesn't look that great. For example, the Jermaine Ortiz fight, I think Jermaine Ortiz, Teofimo got the decision, but I think Jermaine Ortiz should have won that fight, deserved to win that fight. I think he was never in trouble. He controlled the ring, controlled the distance, and he rendered Teofimo pretty much weaponless. Like, Teofimo did nothing that fight. But then you see him yesterday, and he was absolutely amazing. Even in the build-up, like, he was very entertaining. A little bit wild, man. A little bit off his head, but very entertaining nonetheless, man. And for the first 6-7 rounds yesterday, he was literally flawless. After that, he gets a bit tired. He realizes there's not much of an opponent in front of him. There was no fight back. So, okay, naturally you drop those little 5-10%. But before that, he looked amazing. He looked amazing, man. Well done to him. I think he'll be tough to beat, man. I think he'll be tough to beat. When he's up for it and when he's feeling it and when he's on point like he was yesterday, very few people can stop him. Up next, we had Devin Haney against Ramirez. That was a very disappointing fight. I'll be honest, like where I live, the fight was at like 3 or 4 a.m. my time, or 3 a.m., so I definitely slept through some of the middle rounds. Unfortunately, I'm a huge Devin Haney fan, or I'm a huge Devin Haney fan. He leaves us, like his supporters, with little to defend him with, man. The Devin Haney of a couple years ago was, in my opinion, technically very talented, very gifted, lightning fast jab, very good defensively. Not much power, but with a jab like that, excellent defense, excellent ring IQ. He didn't really need that much power. We saw him against Loma. We saw him against Cambosos. He beat the guy who beat the guy. We saw him dismantle Regis Prograis. I mean, that was, Regis Prograis is an excellent boxer, and he took him to school. But then against Ryan Garcia, there's the asterisk. Ryan Garcia came in overweight. Ryan Garcia had that juice in him. Devin Haney did well, to his credit. He did well to survive 12 rounds against Ryan Garcia under those circumstances, but he did take a beating. So what is it? Is this the new Devin Haney we're going to have to get used to? Like, he seemed comfortable to just move around, pepper the jab every now and then, not get hit. So I don't know. Is he obviously there are rumors that the rematch is already signed with Ryan Garcia? Is it a case of protecting the bag, not messing up the bag, not getting hit? Or has he got that fear in him now? Some boxers once they feel that pop, it kind of changes them. So hopefully that's not the case with Devin Haney, but yesterday was a disappointing performance. And it was especially surprising because obviously he'd hear all the noise. Social media and the fans, they're talking so much about that Ryan after that Ryan Garcia performance. They're questioning his CV, they're questioning his record and his previous performances. I was expecting more. I was telling some of my friends that watch, like, I feel Devin Haney's gonna put on a clinic tonight, and shows you how much I know, man. Disappointing. Um, One thing I will say, not to defend Devin Haney, but he likes to counter. And Ramirez, if Devin Haney didn't put on a good performance, Ramirez was absolutely not interested in being there one bit. He gave nothing for Devin Haney to counter. He threw nothing. So when the guy in front of you is not engaged and he's not closing the range and he's not throwing anything, it's very difficult for you to counter that and do something in return. So not trying to give him excuses, but like Ramirez as well takes blame for that performance, takes significant blame, maybe majority of the blame for what we saw last night, or didn't see because I slept through some of that. Anyways, moving on to the main event, Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. There was an upset here, of course. Rolly Romero getting the points win over Ryan Garcia. Man, Romero was a huge underdog, plus 700, I think they had him as. Before we talk about the fight, let's just talk about the size of these two guys, man. They looked huge. Ryan Garcia, especially, he looked huge. He looked like Muhammad Ali back in the day, how he would look. Honestly, he looked huge. And it's crazy to me that him and Haney have the rematch signed, apparently. They're both 147. Because I don't know how Haney's going to fight Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia looked huge. So if Haney had the rough night the first time, man, I don't see him taking that fight at 147, or I don't think he should take that fight at 147. Romero as well looked very big in the back. On TV, the commentators was talking about the size of his legs. He looked huge too. He looked very big. And he carried that power. You could see that. He had that pop. So, of course, bit of a boring fight as well. Different circumstances this time. So Ryan Garcia, he tried to land that left hook, and Romero caught him with two left hooks of his own and dropped him. And to his credit, it looked like a flash knockdown. Ryan Garcia said it was a flash knockdown. He said he didn't get hurt that much. We've seen it happen before against Luke Campbell, when Garcia gets knocked out and gets straight back up and looks okay. But the difference was against Luke Campbell, Ryan Garcia got knocked down and then came back and started to take control of the fight after that. Whereas yesterday, all right, he didn't look like he got hurt, but mentally, that was it. Like, the trauma was there. He tasted those hooks from Romero, and he wanted nothing to do with the rest of the fight. Like, after that second round, that was it. Like, the rest of the remaining 10 rounds, we were in for pretty much a snooze fest. Romero even said it himself. He said, after I connected, Ryan did not try to throw that left hook anymore, and it was very evident. And man, again, question marks now. What does that mean? We all know the circumstances of Ryan Garcia's last performance with that juice in him. Was it just the juice? Where's that pop? Where's that left hook? Was it just an off night? Is it the inactivity? He was saying before the fight. I remember I was watching the build-up 2 days ago, and I was a bit surprised because he was admitting on TV. He was saying inactivity is the worst thing for a fighter, and I've been out of the ring for 12 months or 13 months. So I don't know, man. A lot of question marks. I don't know where they go from here. It's a big shame. Obviously, Ryan Garcia has that star power, that fame, that transcends boxing. I don't know. I wouldn't want to see the rematch with Devin because I think he's too big. I think it will just be one-sided. I wouldn't mind the Rolly rematch, to be honest. I wouldn't mind the Rolly rematch. Rolly, I forgot to mention now, 3-division world champion. Wow. Who saw that coming 2 years ago? Granted, his first one was an interim, but fair play, man. 3-division world champion, man. Fair play to him. Also, fair play to him. He kept his right hand up the whole time. That's a major improvement. Credit to him, credit to his coach, Ismail Salas, because we've all seen Rolly Romero before. In his previous fights, in the sparring videos, his fatal flaw, his Achilles heel, was dropping that hand and getting caught. And we saw that against Tank Davis. Honestly, if he had his hand up against Tank Davis, I think he could have given him more problems. I think he hurt Tank. I wouldn't say it hurt him in the sense that like Tank was like wobbly or anything. No, but you could see Tank felt that power. And Rolly Romero was doing quite well in that fight until, of course, fatal flaw, drops his hand, gets caught, lights out. So if he can keep that habit up of keeping that hand up, man, the future's bright. But honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing that rematch. Let me know what you guys think. Well done if you stuck through the whole card last night, and well done if you stuck through this episode. As always, keep your hands up.
I know you feel it, 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 I know you feel it.